Alright, so people have asked me to expose this and look into this Squid Game, basically Netflix TV series. And at first, I didn't know what it was really about. Didn't think anything of it because, obviously, like I said before, I don't watch TV. I don't watch Netflix. I don't own Netflix. I don't own Sky. I spend most of my time watching YouTube and doing research. So when I did look into it, and I looked into more information about it straight away didn't surprise me why it's so popular and why it just didn't surprise me because it reminds me of other movies. I was actually going to do this on BitTube, but might as well do it on here. So straight away, this movie is about the rich basically offering money to poor people to play a game, and if they win, they get the money. But if they lose, they die in gruesome ways, very gruesome ways, very graphic. And it does not surprise me that this would be allowed on Netflix because, again, we all know the shady stuff that Netflix has done. We all know that. But straight away, you look at it, it reminds me of PlayStation, the triangle, the square. The only thing that's missing is a circle and the X. It's the only thing that's missing. But again, this whole entire movie, well, TV series, it promotes so many agendas, which doesn't surprise me because that's the main thing of today, brainwash the youth and all that. Now, as I said, this reminds me of many things that have been created. Hunger Games. Sure, many people saw that movie where there's teams and they have to fight for their life, and one of the girls in it wears a phoenix, which again symbolizes the devil. And even in that movie, there's people controlling it from behind the scenes, which is known as the elite. Also, another movie, I think it's The Last Cabin in the Woods or something like that. With him out of 4, basically, that shows the same thing. With it shows a bunch of people doing experiments, the elite. And that's all this TV series is admitting who is really behind it. They're admitting what the Illuminati are doing behind closed doors. And I've been saying this for years, the sick and twisted stuff that the Illuminati and the Freemasons and that do. And why do you think so many celebrities have warned about the music industry? Because it's a sick, twisted industry. People think selling your soul is also good. No, it isn't. But as I said, this whole entire TV series basically admits, and it is so graphic, which doesn't really surprise me. And it has things that would attract kids, which is done deliberately. Because most people on Netflix is kids, isn't it? So, and it also reminds me of many other movies, like the movie Escape Room, where there's many of them. They're put in this room, they can't escape, and it ends up only one of them surviving, and it turns out all in the end that none of it was real, that it was just a simulation. What they went through, of course, was real, but the building never existed. It was all a simulation. Because this is what the Illuminati do behind closed doors, because they're sick and twisted. And I've been saying it for many years. And as I said, it starts off with the rich. Basically, it shows the rich, basically, and then there's people in this that can fight, that can kill one another. They basically can kill one another. So again, that's another form of order out of chaos. The divide and conquer with things like racism and all that. The list goes on, that the Illuminati created to divide people against one another rather than the real problem. The Illuminati want people fighting against one another rather than them realizing who the real problem is. And that's what this is teaching and admitting in plain sight. When the people in this are fighting for food, that's the Illuminati laughing like the people starving in places like Africa and that. The Illuminati were behind that. Go look up World Hunger. There's an Illuminati game card for that. So it doesn't surprise me. It is admitting in plain sight that the rich rule over us and offer money to the poor to basically shut them up and silence them. And as I said, these TV shows and that, all they are really is programming. And in this image is basically an image of a little doll, which again, if a kid was on Netflix looking or came across this, they'd think, oh, a little doll, a little doll. It's done on purpose to attract kids. Now, if a kid watched this, they'd be scared to death. That's the whole point of this. That's what the Illuminati like. We've talked about things that obviously can't mention on here. Things like adrenal. We talked about that. Programming and as I said, imagine a kid clicking on this, and as this motto says, win or lose your life, kind of reminds me of the movie Saw, where it says, make a choice, live or die. Kind of reminds me of the same thing. Like I said, imagine a kid clicking on this, they'd have nightmares. That's what they want, the Illuminati, because they love scaring kids. They honestly do. The Illuminati love scaring and brainwashing kids, normalizing crap. I mean, look at the world that we live in now. Look at the world that we live in. And then again, we go on to the next image. We have this. This again simulates basically the image, the triangle means the Illuminati. I mean, it's pretty obvious. It's pretty obvious that it simulates the Illuminati. So we have a bunch of kids playing in a playground, which again is done on purpose because this is all symbolism in this crap. Basically, you have the triangle, which simulates the Illuminati that rule over. This simulates the lower class, and this simulates the people being oppressed, that are poor, people like living in the ghetto and all that. And this simulates the devil himself and the elite and the Illuminati that you will never see. And this simulates the occult and that. And this simulates us, the masses, being ruled over by a bunch of Kabbalic psychopaths. That's what it simulates. So, of course, and in this, basically, that's what it simulates. It simulates middle class, poor people that people the elite do not care about and treat like animals and oppress. And as I said, the circle simulates poor people, the ones basically the Illuminati rule over and control everything in this world. This, as I said, this simulates the elite, the Illuminati that control everything at the top of the pyramid, and also the devil. And again, the funny thing is with this, you'll notice that kids are playing around in it. And again, this is what's said in it. It said that to win the game, you need to get to the top of the triangle. Basically, teaching and brainwashing kids into accepting and being for the Illuminati. That's what it is. So to get ahead in life, they're admitting, sell your soul to the devil, become a part of the problem, be Illuminati Satanist. Because again, that's what you can go watch it yourself. Go watch it yourself. That's exactly what it said. It says to win the game, you gotta get at it. You gotta be at the top. Playing around, I said. And again, when the kids do reach the top, there's another model that says, and it says, I felt like I owned the entire world. So as soon as they do get to the top, they're saying, and it feels like I own the entire world. So they're admitting who this is at the top: the elite, the Illuminati, the cabal, and all that, the occult, the Freemasons. It's admitting that they are the ones who control the world. And I don't usually pay attention to trolls and that, but I just have to laugh. There's someone that continuously keeps spamming comments on my videos, saying the same thing over and over again. The Illuminati are not the ones that control the world, though. It's somebody else. No, it isn't. So many people say that the Vatican, the Catholics, the Black Pope, the list goes on. The Freemasons control the world. They're the ones really in power. No, it isn't. The ones that are in power and have been in power, and this is the question to those people: who existed long before the Catholic Church even existed? If you knew anything, the Freemasons were actually have started off as French. So that just destroys that argument in seconds. Because again, they want you to blame the Catholic Church. That's what many shows do. They won't actually say who's really in power. They'll just say, oh, it's got the Catholic Church covered. No, it isn't. It's not the Catholic Church. They are just pawns in the scheme of the Illuminati agenda. Because the Catholic Church is religion, which religion was set up by one group of people. Obviously, can't name who they are because of YouTube. We all know who they are. But again, all this is doing is brainwashing you in plain sight and admitting who's really in power. That's what it is. So it doesn't surprise me. Now, not many people would even know what this means. I mean, straight away with me, I knew what it meant. Saw these symbols many times before. And then you have this. So this guy gets offered. You basically have this. Basically, in this, a man offers this poor person to play a game where they can win a lot of money. Basically, this scene is basically the elite owning, admitting they got off on torturing people. And just like the movie Hostel, which I've talked about many times, the rich get off on this kind of stuff. So again, the offering money, because in reality, they're going to get that money back. So he ends up winning, but again, he ends up coming back. Yeah, you have people in it that walk away, but then they end up coming back because they want more money. Because again, that's the agenda of the Illuminati. The Illuminati know that they're going to win. They're going to win. Money is the root of all evil for a reason, because people will do anything for money. And then you have this. Kind of reminds me again of the movie Hunger Games, where you have a scene where she shoots that bone arrow into the sky and it shatters the dome around the false reality. And you have people sitting around at a table, which again, this simulates us being monitored. And again, this is the future of our world today. If people carry on letting the Illuminati do whatever they want, this is the reality you're looking at. There's an image, a big image, where it shows a massive war, and then it shows surveillance cameras all around. That's the reality you're looking at. Because again, people will willfully give the freedom away. I mean, then again, you never had any to start with, so. But again, this simulates the elite, the Illuminati, basically monitoring. So the monitoring the game, because they get off on this. Just like the movie Hostel, you have a bunch of rich people that pay to see. They basically pay to see people being tortured in gruesome ways. They pay to see them being tortured in gruesome ways. That's what they do. This goes on. There's been celebrities that admit that these places like this exist. Of course, it's not going to be in the public eye for a reason. None of this is going to be in the public eye. You really think the Illuminati are dumb? That they're really going to let information like this? They'll let information get out but they'll never let information that is actually incriminating get out. So as you see, they're all being monitored and watched very closely, just like that stupid TV show, Big Brother, which again just admits the big eye watching, which the eye watching has always been the Illuminati. So they're all being watched very closely, like it's an experiment. That's really what it is. And as it says, well, and of course, where this surveillance is on a hidden island. So again, because the Illuminati are such cowards, that's why, again, we'll never find them, we'll never see them. Basically, it's where the coward elite, Illuminati, sit back, pulling the strings and doing experiments. Like, we all know they do these stuff, creating clones and all that, and doing MK Ultra and things like that on people for their own basically sick pleasure. All the games in this are a form of MK Ultra. That's exactly what they are. And as I said, it's got many symbolism in this series alone. Again, this is a main image. If you look at the original image of if you look at the main image of I don't know what it's originally called, but if you look at the image of the stairway, it's known as an illusion image or something like that. That was used as a form of MK Ultra It simulates multiple personalities. So you see the confused, the wandering around like slaves to a slaughter. Again, now I believe this is just all programming for things like begins with FEM. I'm not gonna. You can put the last letter at the end. Because obviously YouTube's garbage, but you see they're heavily being monitored here. They've got guns. Now, what would this symbolize? The people with guns, it would simulate the military. You gotta think of this. Those camps. And then you have this. Why is it a playground? Again, because again, it is a form of false happiness, which is used as a form of MK Ultra to basically cause pain to the victim. But again, you'll notice it takes place in playgrounds. It's to attract kids. That's what it is. It's to attract kids. And as I said, you notice they're being heavily monitored like it's the military. It's all part of it. And we'll move on to the next image. You'll notice this. There's coffins. Basically, people in this game can kill each other just as a sacrifice to the Illuminati. So basically, people can kill one another. Basically, this is what this is. Basically, someone's been killed. They've been put in a box, and you'll notice it's like a gift. Because again, that's what the Illuminati believe, that death is a gift. Because of psychopaths. It's exactly what they are, psychos. This is a sacrifice to the Illuminati. So, this is like what I said, the fight. Basically, they starve these people and throw food, and then they start fighting with one another. That simulates order out chaos and mind control and the power that the Illuminati has. It simulates, oh, we can do what? We can create an event or whatever, make the masses riot or whatever. And it shows the power that they have. They sit back laughing at you. And you'll notice each box is like a gift. As I said, because again, like the skull and bones, the Illuminati are heavily, basically, they have a thing about death. Like, they believe that if you die, basically, if you do this ritual where you're almost near the experience of death, that you'll become reborn. That's the satanic rituals that the Illuminati do. Basically, you will have to be near a near-death experience, and then you'll be reborn. Now that I can't think, that kind of explains why the movie Saw, they chose that, because it's being reborn, just like baptism, but in the satanic way. They believe that their version, that when you become reborn, you are now a god. That's what they believe. That's exactly what the elite believe. Because the psychopaths. And again, we all know the thing of death. There's an agenda of the Illuminati for depopulation. We already know this. They keep bringing up this crap that, oh, the world is overpopulated. No, it's not. The world is not overpopulated at all. That is just lies. Because the reason they keep saying this is because the amount of humans that are on the earth is not able to control with their mind control and their surveillance. So they have to lower the population so they can put them under control. And that's why, again, things like you keep hearing about World War III, which is an agenda to depopulate the world and put basically get the population under a controlled level so they can basically easily put them under control and know where everybody is. And on to the next scene. Now, this guy that won the game gives his daughter a gift. You'll notice, looks exactly like the coffin. It's exactly the same. So again, they're saying that death is a gift. So, and he basically gives his daughter a gift, and it has a gun in it. So they're saying they're promoting suicide and they're promoting death before your face. They're basically promoting it that it's a good thing. They have this obsession with death. It's a cult. It's rituals. So again, it's exactly the same as this. So basically promoting death, suicide onto the youth, brainwashing that it's normal, basically indoctrinating and causing fear, which again is connected to AD. And as you see the gun. And then you have this scene. This is pretty obvious what this is. There's no denying this. As soon as I seen this, I knew exactly what this was about. Just need to show something a minute. Yeah. Yeah. So, as I said, this simulates the sex parties, like the eyes wide shut parties that the Illuminati have. So, there's people in mass which simulate the Illuminati elite rich going to their eyes wide shut parties. Because again, and anyone, if you want to know information about what the Illuminati really do, again, that's why I continuously keep bringing it up. The movie Hostel, there's this group, they have a tattoo. They have a tattoo on their arm, on the inside of the forearm, and it's known as the Elite Club. That's what they're known as. The Elite, I think it's the Elite Doghound Club, which again simulates the elite. There are many movies, they admit that this is what they do behind closed doors. This is what they do. They pay to see people being tortured. This is what they do behind closed doors. It's never going. The evidence is never going to be brought to light because, for obvious reasons, we know who's in power. And this animal, them wearing animal mask as well, is a form of in the Vatican. They use it. It's basically because the elite are such cowards. That's what they are. That's why they wear masks at these events. It basically masks who they really are. So they can do whatever they want. They commit any crimes they want, and nobody's going to know who they are. That's why they wear the masks. It's the same in the Vatican. That's why they used to wear masks at those balls and that. The ball that they used to do, so nobody would know who they are. And basically they could have orgies and that, and nobody would know who they were. And that's what it simulates, these occult parties. And you see this basically in the VIP area. You have this. These are the sick, basically, people that exist in this world that are into stuff like this. You see, they're wearing masks, the animalistic, the sex kitten programming, the sick, twisted stuff that they're into, all forms of MK Ultra. This is the elite, the rich, because we all know that the rich are into sick, twisted stuff, and they get away with it. There is no justice in this world. Rich get away with everything. Basically, a rich person can murder someone, and all they have to do is pay a fine. They'll get off. They'll get off with it. There is no justice. What you see with the imagery, it represents the degenerate rich, because that's exactly what the rich really are. They think they're better than everybody else, when in reality, this is what they're really like. Degenerates. Now, this is the area that they go into. You know, it's multiple symbolism here. Multiple symbolism here. Multiple. We have 1, the all-seeing eye. 2, I'm not going to say what this is. You obviously know what it is. Sexualization. Sex. Because they have to keep promoting this in this youth. This is why the world is the way it is now. Because again, they have to keep promoting that, oh, the only thing that matters in life is, oh, getting laid. That's the only thing that matters in this world, is getting laid. Oh, you haven't got laid. You're a loser. They've been brainwashing that crap into people's heads for thousands of years. Because again, why do you think they promote that? The one night stand lifestyle. Because again, it's a form to stop population growing. It's the same, it's the agenda that Adam Westerberg wanted. And Adam Westerberg wrote a book and admitted his plans in plain sight. He admitted that his agenda was to destroy and break up families by doing things like creating porn. That's why things like porn exist. That's why the pill that women take so they don't get pregnant. That's why condoms were created. That's why they're created. Nobody basically has I forgot the word now. Completely forgot the word, but it doesn't really matter. We all know what it is. Basically, they don't have any responsibility. That was it. They don't have any responsibility. And again, breaking up families and that's why there's so many divorces all over the world. Because again, women cheat on their husbands, men cheat on their wives. It's all part of the agenda. It's all part of the agenda. They want to break up families so it depopulizes the world. Lust. That's why everyone in this world thinks that sex is the only thing that matters. Because again, these people that think that way have no life, and they're losers. If you think that sex is the only thing that matters, imagine if you think that's a legacy that you're going to leave. Oh, someone says, oh, here lies this man today, what did he do in his life? Oh, he's a complete degenerate loser. All he did was sleep with a bunch of women. What did he accomplish in life? Nothing. You're a loser. That's exactly what you are, a loser. But that's why they promote that, because you see the sexualization here again. Over sexualization with the imagery. The all seeing eye, like I said. And then again, this. So, this image is from. As I said, with they do stuff, and it's been exposed that they admitted it in the movie with Tom Cruise. I believe it was Tom Cruise. What the elite actually do, they do orgies at these ball things. They it's all been exposed. You know, people want to deny it. It's all been brought to light. They basically, obviously, can't mention the rest of the stuff that they do because again, but again, this image was taken from basically Helene, or however her name's pronounced, really couldn't care less. The Rothschild, 1972, that's when this was taken, a core elite bomb. And they wear this mask, as I said, because they're cowards. They don't want to show the real face because they're a bunch of cowards. They'll commit these gruesome, sick, twisted acts while they've got this mask on, so nobody knows who they are, nor can they be punished for it, nor can they be prosecuted. Then again, they won't be prosecuted anyway because they can just get off with it. But again, some of the most scummiest families in the world is the Rothschilds, the total scumbags, absolute scumbags. And this again, mass simulates the Baphomet, the goat head. That's why they wear animal masks, because again, it goes back to the form of. If we go to the image there, LaVey, one of the most satanic Satanists, created the Church of Satan. I believe he slept with his own mother and was into things like necrophiliac and was also into many fetishes like bestiality and all that. So it really doesn't surprise me. I mean, and this person actually believed that he was the Antichrist. He believed that he was the devil himself. These people are just delusional. Now again, we go back. You'll notice this. Basically, the people that win and that move up the ranks, and you'll see they at the beginning of it they get treated like garbage. Then when they move up the ranks and they become richer and that, they get treated good. Because again, we know that's the way of life as well, that basically anyone that's rich gets treated like gold. People that are poor get treated like crap. So we had this table where they're having dinner. Of course, it's in the shape of the Illuminati triangle, with a Freemason lodge floor, and then it has a light in the middle, and then we have these two, which would simulate Freemason pillars. That's what it simulates, as we'll show in this image. You have the light, which simulates the sun, and the Illuminati. You have the Freemason lodge floor, the two pillars, and the Freemason lodge floor, and the light simulates the Illuminati. As you can clearly see. You'll notice the colours red and black. Same with the Vatican, where these two colours, Satanists wear it as well, red and black, because it's a color. These colors have a meaning to the Satanists and the Illuminati. Red simulates blood, demons, sacrifice. That's what it simulates. Black simulates death. Basically, is also known as destruction. And pain, it's associated with pain as well. As we all know, the Illuminati love those things. And then you have this guy that's given a knife. And he actually commits an act. So basically, the knife simulates basically blood sacrifice. So with this knife, he basically cuts the throat of another person. So he moves up to the ranks and then creates a blood sacrifice. What do you think this is saying? This is representing the Illuminati and the Freemasons, and to move higher up the ranks and become famous like these sellouts, like Kanye West that sacrificed his own mother for fame. That's what most of these celebrities have done. They have made a satanic sacrifice, because if you are not a part of the Illuminati bloodline families, you have to make a satanic sacrifice to become one of them. So he basically cuts the throat of another person, and then you see this. You see the Illuminati Freemason Lodge floor again, with the light simulating false enlightenment. And then you have the gruesome acts of the way these people died. Again, all part of the plan. It was all one big sacrifice. It was all one big sacrifice unto these psychopaths, the Illuminati, which I said at the beginning. So basically, this is basically the rich making an offering to the Illuminati. They also do it with animals as well. They'll sacrifice an animal and drink the blood, because again, these people are sick. And then you have this. Basically get one of them, basically the guy that won, gets given an invitation. Now, if you look up sky on the 7th floor in a cult, this is what it means. Basically, the 7th floor and sky building, which means 7th means the sky, heaven, the 7th heaven, and sky, yeah, basically the 7th floor would represent heaven, so he's going to heaven, the false heaven that they promote, because these people believe the gods. So he's been invited to the 7th heaven. So simulating that he is now a god. And then you had this was the guy that left and then came back. Now, like I said, it has heavily imagery of kids' stuff. This is done deliberately, because we have a kid's doll, we have a kid's playground. It's to basically to get kids and basically brainwashed by it and lock kids in, because this stuff will lock kids in. It's in playground. It's false sense of fun. So yeah, garbage. And now you know the real meaning of what this is really about. What this TV series is really about and why it's so popular. The prop is a part of the Illuminati agenda. That's what it's about. Crap promoted by the Illuminati. And I am speaking more clearly. Maybe turn your audio up. Or just wash your ears out. Or as I said, many people have asked me to expose this. I've still got more videos to do. I did one video on BitChute yesterday. And nobody else is going to expose that what I did. Because again, unless it gets them views or stuff like that, they won't make videos about it. But so yeah, it's been exposed. So I'll see you in the next video.